So I'm going to talk today about the JCS Products Sharpener. I saw this at the Palmetto Sportsman's Classic and was kind of intrigued by it. Wanted to take a closer look at it. So I went home, tried to find a little bit of research online, wasn't able to find anything, and contacted the owner, and I've just purchased one. It's roughly, I think it was $108 to my door. That gets you the system, one medium rod, probably a 600 grit, made by Easy Lamp Company, as well as a ceramic rod. Ceramic rods can be had, you know, that's probably $5-10. These things are about $35 with the little handle built onto them or what have you, much like a honing chef steel. From Easy Lamp website, $35 to $38 or so. I do feel it was a little expensive, but being, you know, durable construction, made in USA, knowing this is, you know, nearly $40 worth of cost, roughly $60 in the base, it's not bad. The reason the person invented it, I think, you know, ingenuity is a great thing, solves a problem, what have you. The person said they have trouble learning how to sharpen on standard sharpening stones. They could never get the angle correct, or perhaps they were talking about, you know, standard honing steels, what have you. This I got with an adapter to try out for honing stones, or for stones rather. I wouldn't really call this a sharpener in and of itself. Yes, you can set angles, but it's really designed for just a steel. So if you are accustomed to using steels, steel rods, honing steels, this may be something for you. Relatively easy to use. You find your angle with that of a Sharpie, you know, and just kind of adjust the angle in or out. And you're using it much like you would a sharp maker, what have you. And once the angle was set, there is you can tweak the angles this way and that way. You still have to be mindful of the spine and keeping it straight in order to maintain that angle. Obviously, rotating that spine one way or the other is going to increase or decrease the angle of that knife. So not a foolproof system as far as that goes. Initially, you know, you'll do one side, flip it over, and do the other side. I asked about the holes. What's the purpose of bolting it down if you're going to be flipping it back and forth? Was told, you know, that was put there to put in, like, you know, sticky pads, or maybe suction cups, or whatever, you know, skid-proof pads, or if somebody wants to bolt it down and keep it in a permanent position, such as scissor sharpeners. As a professional barber, I would tell you there's not a scissor sharpener out there that's going to use this for sharpening scissors. That's very high-tech equipment, very expensive equipment, with wheels and, you know, stones and jigs made deliberately for sharpening scissors. You may be able to get some old scissors in a drawer sharp, but nobody is going to be using this for sharpening scissors. Alright, so on to the construction. It's made with a durable, you know, plastic. I forget the exact plastic that it is. I don't care about this knob. It's threaded too long, and it feels cheap, okay? I feel like a better, more thread, you know, less threads, less length on here might be better suited for it. You see, it's designed to hold several types of rods, you know, from the oval type to the more cylindrical and so forth. So I wanted to see about using the stone holder. So it came with double-sided tape. Now, the problem with that is you have to replace it every single time, okay? Now this has to wedge down in there like so. I do want to think it goes down in there a little bit better than that. Perhaps not. I don't know. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. So it fits in there well. Okay. And supposedly, you're not going to have to change your angle. But if I use this stone, you know, looking at my angle, and then I go put on another stone, obviously my angle from the surface of what I'm using has changed. So I am going to find my angle again with changing stones. And you would use it, you know, much in the same way. Find your angle, come down, just like you would the other thing. Now, and actually without any tape or anything, this gravity holds this fairly well enough. What I don't like is I use my stones wet. So I have to use this on a tray of sorts to capture all the water. And really just using a stone in that fashion, it isn't ideal. It works, but it's really cumbersome. Having just this, as strong as it is, to hold, or, you know, without it being secured with something, you know, I'm not going to trust double-sided tape. You know, stones cost several hundreds of dollars, some of them I have. I'm not going to trust it to a piece of double-sided tape, especially when I'm sharpening and spraying it down with water and everything else. It falls out of here. It's not really a chance I want to take with some of my, you know, higher-end stones. Still a neat concept. I don't really know how you could go about improving this. It's just too many different size stones and everything else. You can see this doesn't even fit anywhere near the base. And this is, you know, simply a 6 or an 8 by 3 by 1, which is what most, you know, stones come, as far as bench stones and everything. You could put some sort of a clamp around here, but then you're going to worry about every time you sharpen, ding, clanging that clamp. You know, neat idea. It's neat to have the possibility. Cool idea for effort. I mean, this is definitely, you know, I'll be honest, not something that I will see myself using a lot. I don't really use, you know, the steels. Only coming with, you know, one steel and one rod is not that great of a value for me. With the idea of maintaining the angle, you know, you still have a lot of play in it. I would rather spend, you know, $60 on a Sharp Maker by Spyderco. I think that's a better value overall, better consistency. But, you know, like I say, it is a very neat idea. I think, you know, if you were perhaps a big kitchen knife sharpener, this might be a good thing to keep set up in your kitchen, you know, and use it, you know, as needed to keep them touched up, what have you. I mean, just kind of do a couple swipes and turn it around. Of course, you know, a little over $100. I think I would just learn how to hold this properly, because I mean, as much error as can be had from, you know, hand holding, you can have with just not maintaining a proper angle like this as well. So, you know, the margin for error to me is relatively the same. Hey, it's one of those things. Yeah, I've played with it. I've tried it out. And that is kind of my quick little review on it. Also, if you get one of these, you will have to wear the stone in, break it in a little bit. It is extremely abrasive starting off. So just bear in mind with that. If you've gotten one and you have other experiences, or if you have other ideas for it, what have you, let me know.